scheduling, how people set it up. There's big trend to do modular formats like, hey, do
Mhm,
50 hours yin, 50 hours vinyasa, 50 hours sequencing philosophy. And
mhm.
then there's other programs that run straight through. Pros and cons. Let's talk
Mm,
about it.
mm, mm, mm. You're always gaining something, you're always losing something no matter what you do, right?
It's true.
Um, well, let's look at modular. I mean, what you're gaining is that you could get like it's like a poo-poo platter. When you you can you can taste a bunch of little things, or you have a lazy Susan, you're gonna spin it around, right? But you're
Yeah.
not gonna get into anything probably too deep. And
Yeah.
pro and con, you could be invisible in that process.
Yeah.
Meaning you
That's
you
true.
might not necessarily be kind of guided through with a strong mentor at that point. So you're going in and out. What do you think about the
Yeah.
modular?
So we're talking about formats of teacher training. So a modular format can be really great because it's convenient. So a lot of times when you have a modular format, like, hey, put these 6 50-hour chunks together and create your teacher training. What's awesome about that is that it's usually flexible. You oftentimes will get more specialized subjects, sometimes like yin, restorative. So if you like that kind of thing, it might be a little bit more eclectic. Faculty might be a little bit more varied. But
Mhm,
I'll tell you honestly, like the reason that I don't like when we started creating our 300 hour, the
mhm,
things that people need to be aware of about that is that you're not going to have a progressive journey. In other
mhm,
words, like, you're in and out. It's not like a start to finish. And what I get concerned about with those kind of teacher trainings is that you're not emphasizing actual teaching skills, right? You're getting a
mhm,
lot of
mhm,
specialty subjects,
mhm,
but
mhm,
you're not, as we know, like a 200 hour is not, it's not a lot of time. And it's not a
mm-mm,
lot of time to integrate those kind of skills that you really need, like the basics, which are not basic, which is like sequencing,
mhm,
cueing, how do you stand, hold space with the room, how do
mhm,
you use your
mhm.
language? How do you adapt
Yeah.
for who's in front of you? Like those are you just touched on that in a 200 hour. Like
Mhm,
to
mhm,
my mind, for my process, I want a 300 hour that turns you into the best teacher you can be. And
mhm,
from there you go
mhm.
on to specialties,
Yes,
right?
yes.
But
Best teacher, best human. Because
best
when
teacher,
you're
best
the
human.
best version of yourself that there can be, then you will be the
Yeah.
best teacher of yourself that you can be.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And I
Yeah.
feel like this is a difference between kind of academic knowledge versus knowledge plus experience. Because
Yeah.
what happens when you're in something that is progressive, then this is why, we are so passionate about what we're doing, is that you get feedback, you get nuanced feedback, and it integrates. You
Yeah.
just become different, versus like, oh, I have an idea about how that works, but I haven't really practiced it yet. So there's a big difference in that.
Well, and you don't have time. Like if you're doing a and I don't want to totally diss modular formats. They can be great for
Hmm.
certain people
Hmm.
with a certain level of skill, right? Or a
Yep, for
certain
sure.
bent, right? But for me, it's kind of like you want to be able to meet every student where they're at and to coach them to excellence for every step of the way. And
Hmm.
everybody's going to need different things at different times. So in
Hmm.
a modular format, you don't have that big journey. You lose track of it. You get a hit here and a hit there and a hit
Hmm.
there,
Hmm.
but you're
Hmm.
not actually tracking progress or
Hmm.
not actually helping people with the feedback that they need at the time they need it and integrating all those skills along the way. To
Hmm.
me, an
Hmm.
excellent when you graduate 300 hour and you're a 500 hour teacher, to me your excellence is in the integration. It's like teaching a class is a
Hmm.
symphony and
Yep.
you need the bassoonist, you need the flautist, you need the
Mhm.
strings, you need
Mhm.
everybody to work. And when you're just working on the strings and then the flute and then the bassoon like a
Yep.
modular, you don't get that. You got to pull it together to
Mhm.
be one
Mhm.
thing. And to me
Mhm.
that's really important, but it's harder to teach that, I think, right?
Well, for sure, and
Yeah.
even though it's the same amount of hours, it takes more hours of kind of like this really back and forth energy, right? And
Yeah.
and it also can be a
Yeah.
little messy because humans are messy, right?
What?
So
We're
I
messy.
know, I can't believe it.
Say it ain't
But
so.
yeah, so it's like here's what I'm seeing, here is how I'm reflecting, and that is
Yeah.
it takes time and energy as well,
Yeah.
and a commitment. It takes a commitment on both sides. I mean, that's why we're always like, we're calling in, are you a right fit for this? Right? Because it's
Yeah.
not going to be right for everybody.
Yeah.
And, for someone really wanting that they're really ready to be like, okay, I know this is very vulnerable. I'm going to share with you where I am with this. And now I'm going to receive your feedback. Ideally, always with love, back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's more time in there's more time in a progressive training to get to that kind of heart with people where we don't just address like surface skills, which are important, of course, but it's like
Mhm.
getting into that imposter syndrome, getting into what's holding you back. Like, okay,
Mhm.
what's
Yeah.
leading to me feeling like I don't deserve to stand in this space right now? Like, when we're just kind of working on
Mhm.
skills and
Mhm.
specialties, you don't get that depth. There's not enough time. You're focusing
Yeah.
on skills and
Yes.
specialties,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes. I mean, I just want to highlight because you're talking
Yeah.
to me, you're talking about you're mentioning integrity and authenticity, right?
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I really feel very honored, I mean, it is an honor and a privilege to be in a place to help someone see where their blind spot is and step
Mhm.
into their integrity. So when they say, I do this practice, they actually do that practice, right? And inside, their confidence is layered because
Yeah.
they actually understand it and experience it and do it. And that we as sisters kind of help someone be accountable, right? And step into their integrity and step into their authenticity. And it's an honor and a privilege, like
Yeah.
on our end as teachers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't wanna slam modular format. I wanna give everyone out there, like, modular formats can be great. They, they gives you it gives you breadth, I think, a little bit more than depth, but it gives you breadth, and that is
Mhm.
something that can be really nice for
Mhm.
people. It can introduce you to a wide range of faculty. Sometimes there's a little bit more
Yeah.
volition. It's
Yeah.
less like, "This is my core curriculum," and sometimes it's a little bit more elective, like, I could do this
Mhm.
or this.
Mhm.
So there is
Yeah.
a nice flexibility to that for folks. And it can be less intensive because oftentimes with those modules, you could pace it out over 2 years, right?
Yeah.
So there are some pros for those out there because I don't want to be like, we hate modular. For our
No.
training, I think it's just
No.
a different experience. It's kind of like, do you want a buffet or do you want a three-course meal? Like
Mhm.
chef's choice.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Mhm.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and it's not right for everyone, and it's,
Yeah.
different things for different times in your life. But I think that if
Yeah.
if a student is ready to dive in a little deeper and they want direct feedback, and integrated, I think that this format that you have created, my friend, and I have supported and helped, I think it
Yeah.
gives that because you are going to get a lot of things, and you're gonna get into the depth of them. Hmm.
Yeah, I think it's so true. Well, so we don't want to take up too much of people's time. Hello, hello, you guys. But just to shout out, so Mel and I are talking about different structures of 300-hour programs.
Hmm.
If you're a current 200-hour teacher, or just finished 200-hour, you've been out a while, you might be looking around like, okay, what's a great program for me to connect with that's going to give me the next leap in my teaching journey? And there's a lot of programs out there that are modular, like
Hmm.
do this and then
Hmm.
this and then this and this, or online. Like, frankly, Mel, we've talked about this, like Yoga Renew. If someone's just looking to check the box on their 500-hour, I know
Yeah,
plenty of people who have taken the Yoga Renew program. It's online. It's like $400.
and they've
It's super
enjoyed it.
cheap. Yeah, and they've
Absolutely.
enjoyed it and gotten
Of
something out of it.
course.
But
Of course.
it's a different flavor than what you're
Hmm.
going to get in the program that Mel and I are running.
Hmm.
Why, thank you. We're just called beautiful. Um, but it's a different flavor than you're going to get. We have a 6 month, it's pretty intensive 300-hour, which is very mentorship based and we call it progressive, which means
Hmm.
that rather than kind
Yeah.
of doing subject, it takes you from beginning to end to a journey through the whole 6 months. It's like it's a
Hmm.
teaching journey where we build in the threads of your confidence in your teaching
Yeah.
through mentorship the whole time, which is different. Pros and
Yes.
cons.
I laugh,
Pros
I
and cons.
giggle because we're a little more side by side. I mean, we're in your business a little bit more.
We're totally in your business. Fully up in there.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
true. Oh, anyways, we don't want to optimize people's times, but if you guys have questions, feel free to shoot
Mhm.
us. Our program starts February 16th, so just a couple of weeks from now. Crazy.
Mhm.
It's going to be a wild
Mhm.
ride. So you can always reach out to
Mhm.
me. And it's nice to
Yeah.
see people in person. I'm on YouTube and in so many videos, but not so much live. So it's
Mhm.
nice to be live with y'all. And Mel,
Mhm.
thanks for joining
Mhm.
in and
Of
sharing
course.
some insights and stuff.
Always, always, my friends. It's
All right,
great to be
folks.
here. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Peace
Say
out.
bye, you guys. Nice to see
Bye.
you.
Bye.